All right. So remember when I said like all of the um all of the gods, you know what I'm saying, from different pantheons and shit. It's it's just different iterations, and I back this shit up. You know what I'm saying, what I say. Check this out, right? So Jesus was like, "Are ye not gods?" David said the same shit. Where did these gods pop out from? You see what I'm saying? And it wasn't until a certain captivity that Israel, like, started doing the one God thing. That being widespread, at least. Because most of the time, like with the blending of cultures, they had strict religious practices, but you can't disseminate that much like information through a widespread like it was a whole bunch of people, and communication is not like the same as it is now. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of variations in Israel. You can look that up. What they were trying to do was consolidate and understand the hierarchy of beings, right? And God was like, okay, so since I'm starting over, I'm going to make it simple for you, and I'm going to be the Most High God, and the rest of the deities are either my messengers, right, or they are people who have been casted out, or deities that have been casted out. That's the war in heaven. You feel me? So, remember when I also said that God has 3 sons, right? 3 begotten sons, because that's how it starts. So this is my begotten son, right? My only begotten son, right? That's how it starts. Like timelines, you know what I'm saying? You got to start somewhere. When the earth renewed and everything, right? It's like instead of having this complex web, right? It just consolidated everything and made it more simpler to understand. So, like, it's like condensing the timelines, the multiple iterations, all delving into one and making it concise. So, because Brahma was not worshipped, was only worshipped by like the higher gods, right? Humans could pray to what? Either Vishnu or Shiva, right? They really didn't get anything because Brahma had already set in place. It's more complex than that, but anyway, now in this iteration, let's just scratch everything out, right? You have Father God, and then you have the Son, and then you have another son, and then you have another son, but one of them becomes equal to the father. So one of the sons is a direct almost like a copy, but it's just it's their own. They're their own person, right? And the issue is that if you look at it, the first son was always supposed to be that way, but the first son sinned, and sin travels through generations. So if you look at it, this first son was supposed to be the high priest, Cain. What did he do? He murdered his brother. It fucked shit up, right? If you look at Israel, when he started a whole new iteration within an iteration, right, to fix the issue, what happened? The first born out of the first male born, because what? Again, the world takes precedence as it was started. So Adam and Eve fucked up. Adam had to take the brunt of all of the weight of the fucking entire solar system and shit. And so then that set a precedence for men taking the brunt of like existence, right? Culmination of that was Jesus. So you have Cain murdering his brother. It makes him unfit to be the heir, right? So it went to what? Seth, the third son, right? Seth had to hold the line up until what? Jesus. Well, Seth, his bloodline. We all come from his bloodline anyway, so. But, yeah, so the third son, right? That was quote unquote the youngest. See what I'm saying? So, then the second son had to take supreme, right? And so there are 3 sons of God, right? I'll give you evidence of this, right? So you have, what did Jesus say? Right? He said, God is the Father of the living. Then he clarified, who's the living? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. 3. You look at Zoroastrianism. What does it say? There's only 3 sons. Anyone who says there's a 4th son, right? I have to reiterate these things because I want people to understand where I come from. Abraham. It's very similar to Brahma. Abraham, right? What was his wife's name? Sarah. Saraswati. Right? It all fits together. That was an incarnation of Brahma. Isaac was an incarnation of Vishnu, but it wasn't time yet. And Jacob was an incarnation of what? Shiva. See, you get what I'm saying? It's all just a different format of the same thing. And so, you have to, that's why they called him Father Abraham. His name was Abram. Changed it. Father of many nations. What is Brahma? The Father. God the Father. Isaac was the sacrifice. What do sacrifices do? They appease the gods. Why? Because of sin, so they preserve you. In this way, this iteration right here is one of the most fucking complex out of all of them. But it's actually the one that makes the most sense. It's the easiest to, like, if you put all the puzzle pieces together, it actually, like, makes, it's more functional. If you think about it, it's the most functional one, to be honest with you. But it starts off so convoluted because of sin. Everything got all fucked and shit, like, so that obviously had to be fixed. And this is where we at. 3 sons. You're either an iteration of one of the 3. And why is it only the sons and not the daughters? Like in Hinduism, right? Hinduism, the women, the wives, are in Hebrew. It's not completely like male dominant. Like there are women prophetesses, and there was a woman judge. Like it wasn't like completely like fuck females. It's just this iteration fucked up in the beginning, and so it's like your body can die. Why? Because you can get reincarnated out of a relative's line, right? Same with that. God considers what? Marriage as one, a unification of one. He already sees 2 beings as one, and him being the Father. So saying that there's only 3 sons, right, is because of the state of the world at that time. It fucked up, so Adam had to hold the brunt of everything. Out of Adam, who came out of Adam? Eve. Eve would have been reborn anyway. Same with Abraham, Sarah Swati. This is why God says, no wife stands beside me in heaven, because they had to wait. This is the reunification in this realm, like this Brahma, right? This Father God, because it's the same Brahma, it's the same Father God. It's just that it's almost like when you go to sleep, right? When you go to sleep, you process things. You may wake up and look the same, but you're a different person from that day. And you're actually a different person from moment to moment. But it's almost like that. It's just a sleep. So it's not like a new Brahma. It's not like a new Father God. It's the same one. It's just that he starts everything. It's just the engine starts over. It's like, oh, I wake up, I actually got some rest, new inspiration. That's basically it, right? And so, in this one, it was like, at the end of the worlds and shit, think about as everybody just goes to sleep. Brahma's cooking, right? What's he gonna do the next iteration? When he wakes up. And then it's his job to manifest his wife back into the realm, right? He did it in a different order so as to maintain peace. And so to give people paradise and not to struggle and shit. But he couldn't get rid of chaos. The only way he could do that is by the apple. And so he had to strictly do it could have went either way, but either way, he knew it would work out in the end. So it was like, I can give you this iteration, it could be like pure perfection. But, I mean, it's up to you. It's up to you to figure that out. And so, but when man fucked up, it kind of like put a division between masculine and feminine energies. And when I say man, I mean mankind. Everybody fucked up, right? So with that division, this is why God just straight up says it's like there's no woman that stands beside me. That doesn't mean that because Saraswati is inevitable. You see what I'm saying? Lakshmi is inevitable. Sati or Parvati, they're inevitable. Just as much as Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. You're the inverted version of each other. If one exists, the other it just will exist. It's not like you don't get one without the other. They're cosmic partners. That's just how it works. And so we just had to live a certain way with this division of, I guess, spiritualism and holiness. I guess that's one way to fucking put it. It's mad. It makes sense though. So, and that's really it. If you can get that concept, right? Because there's also texts that say that this like that God had a certain amount of kids with his wife, right? And those were like the first like top level gods, right? And then so you had a set of divine beings that were I think in one iteration it was like 72 or 74 sons of both God and goddess, right? That could have been in a different iteration. It doesn't matter. They exist in the last iteration or a different iteration. They're going to spawn up in this one because they are already created. What? Because energy cannot be what? Destroyed. Just can't happen. There you go. That's how the shit works. If anybody was curious. Where did all the goddamn languages come from? God just calculated so many fucking languages out of the goddamn blue? No, they came from different iterations. But Hebrew is the first language. That's literally. It's the same Earth. He just restarts on the Earth. He could probably jump to another planet if he wants to, but that's irrelevant. Because if you look at the Hebrew language, it's the first. If this is the 8th iteration, right? What's the 8th? Another first, right? An 8th day is nothing but the first day. So this is what he was like, okay, so let's go back to the beginning. If everything's fucking up, we're gonna start over, literally, like it's the first day. Boom. You're welcome.